Hi there. Here's a video to show you how you could load the Golem simulation cache within Houdini using an Alembic export. I'm running a Golem 621 right now, and I'm just having like a super easy simulation where I've got characters walking on a hill, and within my behaviors, I've just added an attribute behavior to feed a couple of PP attributes. So those are PP attributes I created on the particle system of my characters. There's one which is a vector PP attribute called ground normal, which is fed by a channel called ground normal. So that just fetch the normal of the ground where the character is and push that into a PP attribute. I've got a floating one with the slope, and I've got an integer one with the current frame. So that behavior runs, and if I pick any character here, I can see what's the normal of my ground, what's my slope for my current position, and what's the current frame. So right now it's 76. So let's say I'm happy with that simulation. I can export it within the simulation cache. And when I export it, I want to make sure that those three PP attributes that I had set are going to be exported as well. So you can just press the plus button here and select within the list which PP attribute you'd like to add as additional PP attribute to export. So I can run the sim. So it's going to run the simulation for me. It's going to export the position, orientation of the bones, as well as those PP attributes. And when it's been exported, it's going to switch to simulation cache mode, where I can see how does my simulation look like, and I can re-layout those characters if I want to using the simulation cache layout. And when I'm happy with that, I can just bake this. So let's say I want to open this within Houdini. I can go into the Simulation Baker tab, go into the Alembic subtab here, enable it, specify the directory in which I would like to export, and specify that the output mode I want to use is export animations in one file as point cache. So that's that last option here. And I'm going to press bake. And you can see it's pretty fast because here we don't bake out the whole geometry of the characters. We just bake positions, orientations of the bones, as well as the PP attributes have been added. When it's done, I can go into Houdini and I can create like an Alembic node here. And I can switch in and load my Alembic file. So I can go into my directory in which I've exported my sim and export. And now you can see your bones of your character as a point cache here. So you can see they're moving, and if I just open the spreadsheet, I will get the position of the bones there. If you want to get more, you can just unpack it, and as you unpack, you ended up with the full information of the Golem cache. So let's take a look at this. So you may notice that everything is sorted by entity ID. So from here to there, you get all the information of the first entity of the cache, and every line will be a bone. And for every bone, you will have its position, its orientation, and its scale here. So we don't have any squash and stretch right now, so that's why the scale is uniform and set to 1. So for every bone, you got that information, and obviously if the cache changes, the position and the orientation changed as well. Every PP attribute that you exported, such as the frame PP, the entity type, which is one of the default PP attribute exported, the ground normal here, you get that exact same information for every bone, but you get the information if you want it, as well as the slope, etc. So this is for the first entity, then you get the information for the second entity, and so on and so forth. So now that you get all that information, it's super easy for any Houdini TD to just, attach, filter the lines you'd like to see. So you can say, okay, I just want to isolate the right foot bones and the left foot bone, and you can instantiate geometry on it and just do your FX interaction like you would use to do it with some full geometry. Just one thing I wanted to show you as well is here I exported the whole cache, but let's say you only want to export the people which are in front of the simulation. Let's say it's going to be those people there. You can go into F9, so which is simulation layout. So press F9 on your keyboard, and here you may have noticed that you got an entity IDs field that you can just feed with your current selection. So I just selected the entities I want to just export and bake those, and instead of baking out the full cache here, that's going to just bake those entities there. And when it's going to be done, I can go back into Houdini once again and just ask for a reload. And now I just get the first entities that I had within my cache. So that's just a way to selectively specify which entities you'd like to have or not. So I hope this makes sense, and see you into the next video.